What's good, y'all? It's Drew here, back with another collab. Today we have a very special guest, and why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, what's good, you mans? Obviously, Blaziken. Obviously, I appreciate you having me again, and we're here to talk some JJK. So yeah, man.
This is gonna be a low-key hardy video. Today we got all of Sukuna's, obviously with the most recent chapters and stuff, we're seeing Sukuna basically run the gauntlet on all the sorcerers. So today we're gonna rank all of the opponents that Sukuna has faced, and with like the whole ranking thing, we're ranking it based off of the strength of the characters. So who is the strongest? Obviously, we know who the strongest is, but ranking who the strongest of Sukuna's opponents were. So it'll be a pretty fun video, I think. I think it's pretty obvious who number one is, but yeah, we'll see how everything rolls up. You have anything you want to?
Streets are saying Kusakabe is number one.
Kusakabe number one. That might move mountains. I'm not gonna lie.
Me?
Nah, I'm here for it. I should introduce the characters that we're gonna talk about, because there's so many of the characters that Sukuna has faced against. The people that we're gonna put up against Sukuna, or the people that we're ranking, are Yuji, Yuta, Gojo, Kashimo, Kusakabe, Higuruma, Maki, and Ino. So some other characters like Toto and Miguel. I feel like it just makes more sense. These are like the people that I think had a good enough fight and long enough fight with Sukuna. So I think that makes the most sense.
Sounds good.
So coming at the week, I think, and obviously like Liz can, interrupt if you think it's a little different. I feel like easily the weakest character on this list is gotta be Ino. I feel like we're just talking about like hands for hand. Like, I feel like any stat.
You might have to respect the feisty sorcerer. I can't. No, I'm joking. Yes.
I was gonna say, hold on now. No, I had to look at. I'm looking at the list. I'm like, yo, yeah, Ino. I mean, Ino's tough. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Ino. I don't know what people think about Ino I feel like with the power craft and all that stuff, like Ino might even be stronger than what's his name, Nanami or something. I don't really know. That's not
no.
Okay. But Ino's cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, hold on, my bad. Yeah, cook up.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, again, I think it's kind of crazy because when we're seeing I think the training and stuff that it's been since Nanami's dead, like he's been dead for a long time. We're talking about since Shibuya. And it seemed with Ino and his curse technique and all that stuff, I feel like he's catching up on his old sensei. That's what I think personally.
He's catching up on his sensei.
Yeah, I think low key. But yeah, Blaziken, why do you think Ino's the weakest? Because I think that's pretty obvious. But what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, his technique is pretty cool. He puts on the shiesty, and then he can use the powers of one of the beasts. We finally got to see the Ryu dragon recently. Obviously, he just doesn't have the capabilities like the other, no domain expansion. I don't even think he has a reverse curse technique, if I'm correct. Did he have a simple domain? I don't remember. Regardless, his base stats are pretty weak. However, he did have a nice little cameo and set up Yuji for his final Black Flash before he awakened, which I think was pretty cool. But I think it's pretty standard that, Ino is unfortunately the weakest.
Yeah, and honestly, it's low-key no disrespect with him, because when you're looking at the list, I feel like first grade sorcerer is like I remember back in the day that was like tough, but now that's literally bottom of the barrel. Like you can't just be a first grade sorcerer and really be tough when we're talking about Sukuna's opponents. It's just how it is, honestly.
I think is he grade? No, I think he's semi-grade 1.
Oh, my fault. He's not even hard for her. Okay.
I think I might be bugging. But yeah, no, you're 100%.
Yeah, I think the next sorcerer. Okay, and honestly, this might be a little contentious. I think it's Higuruma. I think it's the next two is between Higuruma and Kusakabe, and I feel like Higuruma.
I definitely got Kusakabe. I think Higuruma's stronger than Kusakabe for sure.
I then
yeah.
Sell me on this.
Okay, so Higuruma has a reverse curse technique, already a high level technique. He also has a domain expansion, which is another high level technique. He's also able to increase, or at least get his stats a lot higher in the very, very short amount of time. And he also learned domain amplification. So in terms of the big three of what Jujutsu is, he has everything. So just from a Jujutsu standpoint, he's definitely stronger. As well as his domain is pretty hacks. If he does get lucky to use like the Executioner Sword, it is a one-shot. So the fact that even Sukuna didn't try to get hit, he cut off his own arm beforehand. I feel like Higuruma is him. It's just short amount of time, you get me?
Yeah. And yeah, now that you're saying it, I actually do remember when like he was kind of like they were kind of capping low-key, but they said something like, oh, he's as talented as Gojo or something like that. Like he's as like something along those lines.
He is. He's him.
That's that. I mean, not like he did. Like I think his growth was crazy. I guess it's just a thing of like I just felt like Kusakabe's like AP was higher. I mean, his domain expansion is OC. Like Higuruma's domain expansion is OC. I just felt like it's super kind of by chance, or like how it like if it actually hits, you know, because he has to actually prove you like guilty in the courtroom and things like that.
100%, yeah, and that's where the element of risk does come from.
Yeah.
But I still give him the knock because just from like domain amplification and reverse curse technique, which are high level techniques.
Yeah,
so that's how I'm feeling. But kusakabe is a dog for sure.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I actually forget. Yeah, the RCT I think is pretty that's pretty high. Like when we're looking at like top tier sorcerers, being able to like reverse the damage is pretty significant. So I guess that's fair. Yeah, so I guess we spent a little bit. So we kind of spoke about Higuruma, but I guess so we can put Higuruma above kusakabe, so we can switch to kusakabe and why he ranks at like second last for the strongest of Sukuna's opponents.
Yes, so kusakabe is a dog. I mean, realistically, he was getting his own version of "Are you the strongest?" where they were saying he's the strongest grade 1. So I think him being the ceiling of what a grade 1 sorcerer is pretty nice, specifically with him having a technique. He also has his version of Fallen Blossom Emotion, which is pretty cold. And he is a pretty cold swordsman himself. And, you know, for having his chapter against Sukuna, he did a lot of work, as well as being someone who's integral to potentially teaching Yuji barriers, techniques, and everything like that. So I think, obviously, he's capped at a certain level with not having a technique. But I think for what he's done, he's definitely hella strong for his role. So, yeah, man.
So then I guess, okay, yeah, I agree. I was going to say, so I guess my question is, you feel like, because I remember that when they had that chapter where, like you were saying, it's like the Gojo version of grade 1. It's like, who's the strongest first grade?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's kusakabe. Yeah. Like, maybe he's a Gojo to glaze people, which is okay, but that was a funny time. So I guess the question is, like, you think Higuruma is like low tier, but like low tier special grade then, if that makes sense?
Nah, so with Higuruma,
yeah,
I think the reason they did that grade 1 thing, it was mostly just the Jujutsu High people. And obviously, since Higuruma is not part of Jujutsu High, I don't think he's included, as well as he is dead at that moment in time.
Oh, yeah,
so I think they were just talking about the Jujutsu High sorcerers, yeah. In terms of Higuruma, I wouldn't say he's a special grade caliber. However, he does have the potential to definitely be there, just for the simple fact that, like, look at the special grades that we have. Like, I would count Maki as a special grade caliber. Like, the Yutas, Yuki's, like, realistically, Higuruma gets bodied very easily by a lot of those, so.
Okay, that's fair. That's like where my the contention was. But nah, yeah. If he's excluded from the group, then I think that's pretty chill. Speaking of kusakabe, yeah, him not having like a whole CT, I feel like that does like definitely takes away from him as like a you know, compared to these other guys. Obviously, he's still pretty tough. You know, we have the simple domain. That's a cool thing. And I think we've seen a lot of people kind of, you know, jack his style with that. So that's been kind of, I think, rather kind of funny with that. But I mean, obviously we know swordsmen are usually cool, so it is not. I mean, besides that, I think obviously he's stronger than Ino, because we know, like you were saying, he's the strongest first grade. Ino's not a first grade. Ino's like you saying semi first grade, if anything. But
Semi grade 1.
Yeah, semi grade 1. So yeah, no, I think these are like these first three are kind of like these are like they're on the list, but they like, to me it's like, if we're talking now, obviously a full power Sukuna, we spoke about this a while ago, but I think you said something like, it was like, I think you said 8 finger Sukuna like bodies the whole verse, and I'm not even gonna disagree with you, right? But I guess the whole thing is, we know like a top
15.
Oh, you said 15. Okay, yeah, 15 finger like Sukuna bodies the verse, and like, you know, 8 or 10 finger Sukuna still is, you know, up there in terms of strongest JJK characters. I feel like these three they did good against Sukuna, but they're just not. To me, they're not really like threat. I don't think they would ever really threaten Sukuna. Like, Sukuna's not gonna really think, oh shoot, I might die here fighting any of these three, in my opinion. I mean, Higuruma has the hacks, but
100%.
Yeah. Next up, this is where it gets really contentious. I can't lie. I'm looking at the list. We got the three people out of the way. I think Maki's next.
Oh, so you got Yuji over Maki?
I like Yuji over. Okay. I think I like Yuji over. So they're tough, right? It's tough. Like, we know who's like the top. Well, I'm not even gonna spoil it, but I think the argument right now is like, we're looking at the heavy hitters, and then we're looking at Yuji. And we were supposed to make this video a while ago, and at the time, Yuji was way lower. Like, Yuji has been climbing this list. I cannot lie to you. Yuji has awakened, and I think we've only seen awakening once, which was Gojo. We saw Gojo go from, you know, being like, oh, one of the strongest, you know, sorcerers in the current day, or the strongest sorcerer in Jujutsu High at least, to being the strongest. Like, that's what his awakening led him to. And while we haven't seen Yuji really, he's not the strongest, obviously, Yuji's awakening has led him to be kind of like a menace. I think if they go blow for blow, because Yuji has the RCT, you know, he has the curse technique. I just think Yuji could really do it to her. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm going Maki under Yuta, under Yuji. So.
Yeah. on the Yuji.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it as well. He also is aware of his soul, so he
Yeah.
should be able to heal from the soul sword as well, just being someone to understand. To be honest, I edge Maki in precog because she has obviously precog,
Yeah.
so then she can dodge, evade a lot more stats. But for the simple fact that Yuji now does have cleave, well, his version of cleave,
Yeah.
as well as he has blood manipulation, as well as he pretty much can use Black Flash pretty much at will.
Yeah,
That's
he
how
did.
it feels like.
Yeah.
But that's how it feels like. You get me? So I feel like having Yuji ahead is fine. However, if someone wants to put Maki ahead, I'm also fine with that as well. So I'm kind of playing the safe answer. I'll be honest.
He tried the political draw.
yeah.
I got you. Not like I gotta agree.
But
with
then
that.
Yuji had the better performance, so I'm happy with putting Yuji ahead. That's my boy, sir.
Oh yeah. Now Yuji, I know. Yeah, you. I remember back in the day, I used to hate on Yuji. You was trying to tell me to chill out. He's here now. I can't lie. He's here now. But yeah, we can give Maki her flowers. I think Maki, and I think it's kind of unfortunate because sometimes people kind of treat Maki like she's like the Toji clone, and I've been like arguing that she's stronger than Toji for a minute, but we don't have to get into that. I guess now.
Really? Wait. Okay, actually, yeah, we won't get to that.
we'll get into it. But now I feel like Maki's tough. Like obviously we know, for the most part, unless you're basically Sukuna, a domain expansion doesn't really work on her. So if we're doing like matchup based, she's gonna do very, very well against people. I think like one of the things that goes against her is that she doesn't have RCT, so that does suck for her. As opposed to when we talk to the heavy hitters, they all pretty much have that for the most part. But she has the soul splitting katana.
To be fair to her though,
yeah,
she does have her own like natural HR healing, so she does have something.
Yeah, so she's not completely out here looking chopless type thing. Yeah, to the point she has that. The soul splitting katana, which I don't like how they did. They made it at first it seemed very, very OC. I feel like it's been like slightly like nerfed in how it works, but most people don't really know their soul anyway, like, so it's not really, it's still gonna,
there's only like 2 people,
yeah,
so,
it's like,
yeah, pretty much,
like, so she's like, Maki's hard, like, don't get me wrong, her physical stats might still contend with a lot of the people on this list, to be honest. I think like her strength and speed,
physical, I think physicals, I got her and Yuji kind of,
yeah.
You get me? They're up there for sure.
Yeah, no, if we're talking about oh, like, if they're doing like the little circus run where you have to punch something, yeah, they have the most like AP in that. I'm just saying, like, if you match her up against people with their cursed energy, because you know they can reinforce and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, it's not. Yeah. It's probably Maki. Then I don't really know who you want to put him, but it's those two against the world type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, now Maki, she's tough. I give her. Maki's been one of my favorite characters since she just like slaughtered her clan. That was a little bit before then, but when she did that, I was like, yeah, she's low key that guy. She's that girl, but yeah. I'm not trying to. So that's, I think Maki. Yeah, we can't get caught up on that. Okay, so yeah, so I think we're in consensus. So Maki's there. Now we can go Yuji. So I think we gotta give Yuji like. When I say like, it's actually insane. Like I remember literally seeing when Yuji awakened and seeing how insane it went. Like I don't even remember what they said, but they gave like the vibe that like Yuji is literally he's going to surpass
Gojo. That rivals Sukuna. I say that's my goal.
Yeah, I say that's my goal. Nah, that's nasty. No, Yuji's been hard. I can't lie. Like Yuji. Because I gotta be honest, Yuji was really, really struggling to beat those punch and kick merchant allegations like that. It took him a while. It took him a long time, but he did it. I like Yuji's bag is low key is fake now. One of the deeper bags in JJK. Like he has, obviously Yuji's body's that sounds insane. Yuji's like stats are insane, right? We know blood manipulation. He has that, which we know blood manipulation RCT, and we know how RCT works now. So RCT it takes less cursed energy from him, right, as opposed to other characters because he has the blood thing. Then he has cleave and dismantle, which is nothing compared to Sukuna, but cleave and dismantle is still cleave and dismantle at the end of the day. Like it's still valid. Doesn't he have a simple domain as well, or is it? Or, I think he has simple domain now.
Yeah, he has simple domain. They learned from sorry, kusakabe.
Yeah. So he has simple domain.
Yes. RCT
knows his soul. Like he's a balanced sorcerer now. He's really in that tier. I think the problem is that when you're looking at, I just think the other guys just have more. Like I think their curse technique proficiency is just so much higher than Yuji's when we're looking at the rest of the list. And we're looking at some really, really heavy hitters. They're in the group of heavy hitters for a reason. So I think that does mean thing. I don't know what you think on that though.
No, 100%. Yeah, I agree with you. Obviously, the other ones just have a little bit too much. And I think that's where it's going to become even more interesting. So, obviously, shout out my go Yuji. And who do you got next?
It's getting a little shaky now. I ain't gonna lie. The top 3 to 4, I was chatting because this is low-key a harder list than I thought. Okay, so we have some caveats coming up soon, but okay, so the people left we have are Gojo, Kashimo, and Yuta. I think that's what we got left. I think we know who I'm debating over. The 2 people I'm debating over. I think I'm going to go. Okay, this is how I'll phrase it. So Yuta's a very interesting character, right? He's had a couple things he's done. If I don't want to spoil everyone, but obviously spoilers ahead. If you guys are caught up on what's currently happening, the Yu Gojo or whatever you want to call him, he's a different character. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. Clear. That's not you. Like we can rank him as well, but that is not Yuta. That is not even like.
Oh wait, I thought that was the version of Yuta we're ranking. Okay.
No. We can't. I say we'll rank him later. Let's put him to the side. Let's just rank like the Yuta we saw with the domain expansion, all of that. Let's rank that Yuta first, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like I know I said the most recent character, but like the strongest. But if you go in people's bodies, we gotta rank you differently, bro. That's just different.
Hey, it's like Kenjaku. I don't mind. I think it could be still interesting conversation, you know.
No. It's because I think okay, that's fair. But so I guess we have a couple more people left because we'll rank those 2 characters as different people. I think that's an interesting conversation we can have. But the next person I think.
Oh, okay. This is great. I can do a cop out. All right,
I said cop out is crazy. Cop out is nasty. All right. Next door, I'm going Yuta. I'm gonna be honest. I'm going Yuta.
Oh, then yeah, we got the same.
Okay, yeah. See, we're cooking. We're actually cooking right now. So Yuta's tough. Like people would say Yuta should be the MC over Yuji, and I'm not gonna say I wasn't that camp or not, but I don't know if they were wrong. You know what I'm saying? For a long time. No, but Yuta's bag is actually insane. Like more curse energy than Gojo. When we find out, we know he can copy curse techniques.
He's copied pretty much everything, bro. He has everything now.
Yeah,
like from the copy. And he has one of the best reinforcement. He has a broken domain expansion.
Insane.
Yeah, he's tough, man. I don't know what to say. He's just tough.
Yuta's actually like. I remember for the longest time he wasn't using other. He was using like he was using like what's bro's name? Inumaki. Like he was using
curse speech.
Yeah, like that speech. To me that was just huff. I'm like, bro. I was like, you gotta get on that Infinity. You gotta get on Cleveland Dismantle. Yuta said, all right, watch this, and he just started doing it. So I can't.
You watch this.
Yeah, like he gonna start cooking. Like he was pressing out Sukuna. I'd say. I mean, obviously he had help with Yuji and things like that, but I still think that. I mean, Sukuna had to put him down. We saw. I think it's funny because this is all coming to a full circle. Because I think when we collabed, you said bro wouldn't be cooked. He wasn't gonna be dead off at the world's the world cutting slash. Which I mean, you are right. I can't lie. You definitely survived. Through very very crazy means, he did survive. Yeah, like I think the fact that Sukuna had to bust that out, that does mean something. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about top tier people.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Nah. Yeah, I mean, like I was half right. Like he survived, but he didn't survive. So
yeah.
It's one of the ones.
Just look. I mean, I think he's the strongest of the heavy hitters. Personally, I know people are big Hikari fans, but I know where I stand on this.
No. It's been stumped. I think. Obviously, well, we're not going to get into that whole conversation, but yeah, he's the strongest.
Yeah. So we got that. Yeah, and I think it's pretty clear on not number 2, but the next person. I think the next person is going to be Kashimo.
Yep, agreed as well. He has the strongest. I know some people have some issues with that because some people don't want to rate Kashimo.
I think you're very high on curse technique Kashimo. I think we all both are, but you can go into explain.
I mean, yeah, they said he breaks the human realm. Sukuna bodying him, which was the most freshest Sukuna, and it was in a 1v1 setting, and the guy was sending out wall slashes. For me, if Sukuna goes all out like that against any other person 1v1, it's the same fate. Like if you're not Gojo, like realistically, what happens? So I feel like his obviously narrative stuff with the strongest stroke and everything going for him, I just think is comfortably ahead. However, I do think in a fight between Kashimo and Yuta is a little different because Yuta's domain expansion is broken. So yeah, I feel like when you're talking about in a matchup situation is a little different, but I personally have Kashimo. I know a lot of people disagree. They're running the farmer stuff to the ground. So you know what? It is to each your own.
Oh. Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, they were the Kashimo fraud meme agenda, like that agenda was like they were saying he didn't have reverse curse technique, he didn't have I think it was domain amplification. They were cooking him, I'm not gonna lie. But overall, Kashimo was
they
tough.
said the Edo was farmers.
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am, how depressed I am.
Nah, it was nasty era, bro. I think Gege did him slightly disservice by not having that fight go on longer, but even so, he pressed.
Anime save us.
Anime finna save us. Where are they even at with the anime, low key?
I love it. It was cold. Like they did it. I love it. It was cold. All the fights were cold, man. Shibuya was cold. And then M2 was cold. The Mahoraga Sukuna fight. That's one of the best fights I've ever watched, bro. So yeah, man. It was a good meal. Someone who was excited for JJK to come out. I was watching with my boy. So every week with my boy. And he was a first time anime only. He was going crazy.
That's tough thing. That's the thing I think like it's been kind of lost on like making content or reading the manga. That like anime, that first time catching an anime episode it just hits different. I cannot lie.
It hits different. You get me, yeah.
But nah, Kashimo is the next spot. That's pretty simple. Okay, obviously we know he pressed out. It was a weakened Sukuna, but he pressed out like the Sukuna that fought Gojo. And Sukuna had to, go into his hand form, which he's been in since then. That's fine. We're done with Kashimo. We're done with Kashimo. Now.
And then.
So
I'll go Yuta Gojo.
Yeah.
Next.
So we have two characters left. So we have the strongest Gojo, the GOAT. I'm saying we don't got to speak on him. And then we have the Yuta that's in Gojo's body, and we can get pretty nasty with this. I'm gonna be very honest because I think that there's an argument to be had. Or an argument, I'm not saying it's true, but I think there's an argument to be had that the Yuta that's in Gojo's body could be the strongest sorcerer that Sukuna's.
Ooh, really?
Because
okay.
Like, if we're talking,
Let me go first before you go because we'll set you up. Because I think he's not. I think like Gojo's still clear of it. Because my understanding is, if this Yuta is even the same level as that Gojo, realistically, Sukuna's cooked. Like realistically, like let's keep it a stack. He's cooked, right? And I don't think a lot of us think that the ant is gonna, end now. As well as just him being in his body and having his memories, I don't think he's gonna be able to do what Gojo did because Gojo is, unfortunately, like Sukuna, just a whole different level. But I want to hear your opinion because I think it could be very interesting. Why do you think he might be stronger then?
Yeah, and obviously, like you're not gonna find a bigger Gojo fanboy than me, to be honest. But I just think Gege could very well flip it to be like you're looking at like we know Gojo has a lot of great. I don't want to say like that, but assets, right? Like the 6 eyes. If we're talking about, I don't know how the Kenjaku thing kind of works, but if we're looking at Gojo, who has a lot of curse energy just as a sorcerer, but it's the 6 eyes that make his curse energy like infinitely zero consumption. Yeah, just completely efficient to the maximum degree. And you take Yuji's curse energy, who arguably has the most outside of Sukuna. Sukuna's a monster; he doesn't even exist for real. Yuji, who has more curse energy than Gojo, and then being like, okay, this amount. It's more efficient. It's just as efficient as Gojo is. Like that's kind of always been set up where Yuta will be like, I have more curse energy than Gojo, but Gojo's the GOAT, so obviously his consumption is way less than mine. But if Yuta then has that level of consumption, like the things he might even be able to do is just insane. I think there is a skill barrier there. Like there's a skill, like almost a skill lock. There are certain things that I think Yuta can't do, but I guess it just depends on how the soul aspect stuff kind of works, right? Like if Yuta's in Gojo's body, like does that give credence to Yuta having some of like Gojo's proficiency with things? If that makes sense, like where it's like, okay, well, he's in the body of Gojo, like that soul aspect is still kind of there. Like I feel like if Gege wanted to spin it like that, he could kind of spin it where Yuta is basically, because he's in Gojo's body and he's like, Gojo's body had Gojo's soul and Gojo's soul is the GOAT because it's Gojo. Like because Yuta's in that body, Yuta's getting this like this might sound like crazy glaze, but he's getting this Gojo boost because it's Gojo. And like I am in Gojo's body and I have all my stats, my whole toolkit. I'm basically giving my toolkit to Gojo and then we're fighting together, like not together, but like that. Because I think that's a thing. Now, I think obviously the rebuttal might be like we know Geto. I ain't gonna lie, Geto's low-key a frog. Geto was not hard. If we're looking at,
not too much. Not too much.
No, Geto's cool though. I'm just saying, just in terms of what we see Kenjaku.
Hey, listen, hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know this is very roundabout. But now that we know that Yuta could do the domain expansion of Gojo, all I'm saying is that domain expansion might have been Geto's. We have no confirmation, so I'm running with it.
I'll let you go. I'm not gonna cook your mans too much, but Geto, I guess I guess I'm saying like we saw Kenjaku do things that Geto never could from what we saw. Like Geto obviously had more potential to do, but yeah. So I just think that the argument could be that it's more Yuta and Kenjaku are the brains and Gojo and Geto are the bodies. Now if that's the complete case, I ain't gonna lie, you got it. Gojo's still to go. Like I just don't think. We saw Gojo was literally doing domain expansion on domain. Like Yuta's not that nigga. Like I'm not even gonna argue he's that guy, right? I just think that depending on how he's doing
There's
it,
a potential.
yeah, just off the like potentially, I think if Gege wants to slice it, potentially the Yuta Gojo weird cross could be better than Gojo. That's just what I think that's just the potential. Don't kill me too much, just the potential.
Dang, yeah, man, them in the comments. Don't be too hard on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But now let me know if y'all think that it's a possibility that the Yuta body swap could be more powerful than Gojo, just overall.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I don't even know if in my heart of hearts I can really end the list without the GOAT being number one though. So I gotta go back. I gotta stay on my I gotta stay on my agenda. I gotta end with my agenda. Number one is Gojo. We gotta keep it real, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Yeah,
13 chapters, a special fight. So you know how it is. I don't think we need to talk too much about Gojo. He's the GOAT, man. So,
I think we don't want to go too crazy. I just think, like you're saying, 13 chapters. I think it's the best fight in JJK personally. I feel like everything we saw, we got to do. I know there's some contenders up there, but that's like one of the best fights in JJK.
Hey, for me, it's clear.
Oh, clear. All right, cool. We cook it. We low key cook it today. We cook it actually. We're actually cooking something crazy. we're actually cooking right now. Yeah, now the best fight in JJK, quite literally, like you know how they slice Black Flash, where with a sorcerer it opens your mind to like curse energy and just it changes the way you look at shit.
Mm-hmm.
I damn near say that the Gojo Sukuna fight was almost euphoric in how it changed how we viewed sorcerers. Like no one thought domain expansions could be done back to back like that. We thought it was like we thought it was just a one-time clip. We never saw domain expansion and domain amplification at the same time. Like we didn't think you could change the boundaries of a domain. Like they were going band for band. They were actually going band for band.
They gave whatever we knew about the power system and just flipped it.
Yeah. It was literally like
special.
It was quite literally like this is what like we had seen. Okay, this is what a strong sorcerer is, and then Gojo and Sukuna were like, hold on, that's what weak people think is strong. Like, this is what
you get me. This is what real strong.
This is what real strong. Like this is the strongest. You know what I'm saying? They share the title. They still share the title. You know what I'm saying? My agenda will still live. Nah, and then even seeing Sukuna now, obviously, like I don't know if it's revisionist history, but we see Sukuna still in his bag doing all the things he does. But even with that going on, Sukuna Gojo still it would still be a close fight in my opinion, even with all the toolkits Sukuna has. If we're gonna talk like that.
Oh wait, now, no comment.
This might get nasty. Hold on. No comment. I guess. Oh,
no comment.
Okay. I guess
does Gojo know that he has the wall slash?
If Gojo knows he has the world slash, I don't know. Gojo might be dabbing niggas up still. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be very honest with you right now.
Hey, I love Gojo, so I'll say it's a good fight, but you already know my number one, so I ain't got to see too much.
All I'm gonna say is Sukuna, tell my boy, let Gojo know that you hitting him with the world slash like you did the Kashimo. I don't know. Megami might be here with us right now, man. I don't know, man. Dog, that's the list. I can't lie. I think that's the list. I think it's a pretty pretty easy scalable thing. I think there's probably some contention with some characters, but y'all let us know who do you think, like, is there any like switches with the list and the spots? I think we got a pretty good overall hit of it though. Anything you would change up with the list, please?
No, I think we cooked, man. It was a good list.
Are there any videos you have queued up? Anything you have ready to go that you want to shout out?
No, it's all good. Obviously, I make a lot of JJK videos. If you're interested, just check us out. And make sure you subscribe to my man. He does a lot of great Hitman Reborn and seeing them cook there. So obviously, I just appreciate it for the love, man. Come on.
I see you know ball. I see the ball. This ball knows is insane. I see that. Nah, for sure. Shout out Blaziken for sure. Channel's gonna be in the description. It always is. JJK content. I don't know how long JJK is going on. I think they were talking about the last arc or another arc. So the JJK is, we got more JJK on the way. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel as well, more anime, JJK, all types of content coming up. But yeah, that's all. So peace.